Hi. Network discovery scans are performed during penetration testing to find out what all systems are alive in a network and what all services these systems are running. In this video, I will give an overview of different network scanning techniques. So let's start. Now, this client wants to communicate with this web server. So in order to establish this communication, there is a process which happens at layer 4 of OSI model, that is the transport layer. And this process is TCP Threeway Handshake. So once this process is completed, then the communication is established between the client and the server. So the network scanning techniques exploit this three-way handshake process in order to find out what all systems are alive in a network and what all services these systems are running. So first of all, I will explain this three-way handshake process followed by different scanning techniques which exploit this three-way handshake process. So in normal three-way handshake process, the client system would craft a TCP segment with Syn flag set, and in response the web server would send a TCP segment with two flags set, that is the Syn flag and ACK flag, and in response the client system would send a TCP segment with ACK flag set. Then this three-way handshake process gets completed and communication is established. Now, this is an organization network and they have deployed a web server or any Windows-based server or any other system which is giving services to the users, and they want to carry out its penetration testing through a penetration tester. So they have hired this penetration tester who would use his laptop with a software known as Nmap. And this Nmap software was developed in 1997 and its basic function is to perform network discovery. So a lot of work has been done on this tool by the community. So after getting the permission from the organization, this penetration tester will connect his laptop to the organization network and will perform different discovery scans on this server. So there are basically four main techniques which are used to perform TCP based scans. So these techniques exploit the normal three-way handshake process. For example, the first technique is known as the Syn Scanning. So in Syn Scanning, the penetration tester would craft a TCP segment with Syn flag set, and in response, if the corresponding TCP port is opened on the server, then the server would respond with Syn and ACK flag set. It means that the port is open on the web server or on the Windows or any other server. Second technique is the ACK scanning, and in this process the penetration tester would craft a TCP segment with ACK flag set. It means that he wants to pretend that this TCP traffic is part of an ongoing session. So in order to deceive the firewall at the server, this packet would be crafted by the penetration tester, and if there is a rule which would allow any ongoing session communication to pass through firewall, then he will be able to get the response from the server, and he would be able to know what port or service is running on that server. Third type of scanning technique is the Connect scan. So in TCP Connect scan, the penetration tester does not have the full right on the system, so he cannot craft special packets or special segments. Therefore, he has to carry out full TCP connection instead of leaving half opened connection like Syn scanning, because in Syn scanning the penetration tester would only send the Syn packet and get the SYNAC response, but it would not he would not complete this entire three-way handshake by sending the ACK. So this would also cause a denial of service attack. But since now the penetration tester does not have the rights on the system to perform the half TCP scanning, therefore he has to perform the full TCP scan, that is the TCP Connect. Now the fourth type of scanning technique is the Christmas scan, and in this Christmas scan the penetration tester would craft a TCP segment with 3 flags set. So because there are multiple flags which are set in a TCP segment, therefore it looks like a Christmas tree. So in response, once the server would provide the response to the client or the penetration tester, then the penetration tester would analyze the response in order to get information about the service running on the system. Now if there is a firewall which is deployed, or there is always a firewall, that is the host based firewall which is deployed on the server. So once a penetration tester performs a penetration testing or the port scanning on a system or on a server, then there are 3 types of result he would get based upon this: either the service is running on the system, or either the firewall has allowed that specific service through the firewall. So there are 3 types of results. That is, the first of all, he would get that a specific port is open, or a specific port is closed, or a specific port is filtered. So if port results indicate in Nmap output that a specific port is open, it means that this port is not filtered by the firewall and this port is allowed on the firewall, and moreover there is a service. For example, if this port is port 80, which is a web service, so this service is running on that specific server. But if the port result indicate that the port is closed, it means that the port is allowed on the firewall, but there is no service which is running on the system. So if the port result indicates that the port is filtered, it means that the port is not allowed on the host firewall, and moreover we cannot make out that either the service is running on the server or not. Now this is the output of Nmap software. So this is a simple version of output, and in this case we can see that the first row indicates that there is a SSH service which is opened on the server on port 22. So you can perform different brute force attack in order to get the admin access using this SSH service or secure shell service which is opened on port 22 on this web server or on this Windows based server. And these results, the second row also indicates that the HTTPS or the web service is opened on port 80. So you can use your browser to access this web service, and in order and also perform other web-based vulnerability test and penetration test using your browser, and also other penetration testing tools, for example burp suite. So this HTTPS traffic is unencrypted. You can also use a sniffer to perform a man-in-the-middle attack, or to sniff the traffic which is flowing between two systems, since this traffic is unencrypted. And the third row indicates that there is no service which is running, but this service is allowed on the firewall. So HTTPS, which is encrypted web traffic, is allowed on the firewall, but there is no service which is configured on this Windows based server. Now if there are other servers or other systems which are deployed by the organization in their network, then you can perform similar discovery scans on these systems. So this was all from my side. Please stay connected. Thank you.